Opening Doors. I'm your host, Warren Waerloo, the manager for the Martin Luther King Jr. Center of Hawkeye Community College. We have a great show lined up for you this morning, but before we get into our show, I do want to make a couple of important announcements. Wow, tongue-tied. But anyway, first of all, I want to announce that the Martin Luther King Jr. Banquet for 2013 will be taking place on Sunday, January 20th, with the social beginning at 5 p.m. and dinner beginning at 5:30 p.m. The location for the banquet will be the 5 Sullivan Brothers Convention Center, West 4th Street and Commercial Street in Waerloo. Cost for the banquet is $40 per person or $20 per person for people ages 18 and under. The menu this year will include tossed salad with French or ranch dressing, rolls with cinnamon butter, chicken marsala, twice baked mashed potatoes, Scandinavian blend of vegetables, cheesecake, assorted mini cheesecakes, and mini eclairs. Make your reservation for the 2013 Martin Luther King Jr. Banquet by Wednesday, January 16th, 2013. If you are unable to attend, you can always make a donation. The speaker for this year's banquet will be Dr. Beverly Smith, Associate Superintendent for Human Resources and Equity, Waterloo Community Schools District. The theme of the banquet this year is My Future is Now. So if you want any additional information for the banquet, please give us a call at 319-296-4440 and dial extension 2 for Ms. LaTanya Graves, and she can give you additional information for purchasing tickets and for purchasing tickets for a full table of people. Also, we are now a site that offers compass testing. So if you're interested in taking the compass test to get into Hawkeye Community College, you can give us a call at 319-296-4440. And again, dial extension 2 for Ms. LaTanya Graves as she administers the compass testing, and she can schedule you for a compass test as well as give you additional information on compass testing. We also offer CNA, Nurse Aid 2, and Rehabilitation Aid programs. So if you're interested in getting your first taste of the health sciences field, you can give us a call to get more information. Again, our number is 319-296-4440. We also offer concurrent enrollment now. So if you're a high school student or the parent of a high school student and you want to obtain free credit for your high school student, they can take concurrent enrollment programming, which includes college credit and high school credit, for free if the student completes and passes the classes. For more information on concurrent enrollment, talk to your counselor, or you can give us a call at 319-296-4440. Well, in the studio with us this morning, we have Ms. Shatisha Bruce and Mr. Dave Wesley, both from Hawkeye Community College. Good morning, you two.
Good morning.
Well, first of all, Shatisha, can you tell us what your title is?
I am the new Accelerated Program Coordinator with Hawkeye Community College alongside Mount Mercy University.
Fantastic. And how about you, Mr. Wesley?
I am a Special Projects with Brian Renfro, the Dean of the Department of Business, and Special Projects for the Dean.
Great, great. Well, thanks for being on the show this morning. I know you have a lot of great information about some exciting programming that you're doing in your areas. So first of all, Shatisha, I'll start with you. You mentioned that you're working with both Hawkeye and Mount Mercy. Can you tell us what you do?
Mount Mercy and Hawkeye have partnered together and created an accelerated format program kind of tailored to the business majors at this time. And through this accelerated format, non-traditional students now have the opportunity to not only go to school for an associate's degree in business, but also to get a bachelor's degree, and you can do this all here at Hawkeye Community College.
Wow, that is great. With that program, is this something that's been around for several years, or is it relatively new?
This is a relatively new program. Lifespan shorter than about 5 years thus far.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Great. And Dave, did you want to chime in some more on this?
Well, Mount Mercy has had a program for a number of years now at Hawkeye, the Accelerated Program. And this past fall, Hawkeye decided to model a 5-week, 10-week accelerated program after the Mount Mercy program to make a smoother transition for those working adults who wanted to go to school in the evening, get a business degree, and transfer to Mount Mercy and continue on toward a bachelor's degree in management through Mount Mercy. So this is basically Hawkeye's first year in doing an accelerated programming in the evening.
Oh, that's great. You know, it goes again along with what I like to say every show is that Hawkeye looks at the community needs, kind of assesses what's needed. get out there, pulls in the resources to meet those needs, or creates programming to actually meet those needs. So would you agree that this is another way of meeting some needs that were
Absolutely.
showing up in the community?
You bet.
Absolutely. Kirkwood has partnered with Mount Mercy, and this program has proven to be a great success down in the Cedar Rapids area. So very excited about the program taking off here in our area through Hawkeye and Mount Mercy.
Fantastic. Now, with this program, do students have to take classes both at Hawkeye and then, travel to one of Mount Mercy sites, or is it all on Hawkeye's campus?
The the business administration associate degree is done all on Hawkeye's campus. The Mount Mercy program's offered at Hawkeye's campus as well, and they will meet with an advisor. Shatisha is the new advisor for that area, and she will design a program to meet their needs. And the majority, if not all of their classes, can be taken at Hawkeye in the accelerated format.
Oh, that's fantastic. Now, with the accelerated format, I know with some programs that offer that, there's certain expectations for the students that are going into something like that. What would you say would be some of the things that students should be aware of when getting into an accelerated program?
I'd say the biggest expectation is the amount of work they will have to do. 5 weeks for a 3-credit class or 10 weeks for a 4-credit class goes rather quickly. And these classes are face-to-face and also online. So students who are taking an accelerated class can expect 10 to 20 hours outside of class to do homework each week. So it's a fairly demanding program. An individual who is interested in doing the accelerated classes needs to be prepared to set at least that much time aside each week to do the homework from week to week and be successful in the class. And we want to see people succeed. So we advise students to take only one accelerated class at a time, or else they'll overwhelm themselves.
Now, with a lot of the online classes and an accelerated format, there's usually a target audience. Would you say there's a target audience for programming such as this?
This program has been designed to, while being convenient and flexible and tailoring to the non-traditional student population with the meeting once a week in the classroom. It does focus on that population,
Okay.
but these students do need to be prepared to implement their problem-solving skills and be ready to tackle independent projects. The outside time that they will spend focusing on the class could be up to 15 to 20 hours.
Okay. Now, are there only certain students who are eligible for this? Are there certain prerequisites that have to be in place?
On Hawkeye's side, no. Although our target population, once again, as Shatisha had mentioned, is the working adult. The non-traditional working adult student tends to add more to the classroom because of their life experience than a traditional student would, although we do not deny admission to any traditional student who might want to take the class. Most traditional students are also taking other courses, so it may be more difficult for them to be successful in an accelerated class. Whereas a working adult can dedicate more time to one class at a time and share their experiences with their classmates. So there are no restrictions on Hawkeye's side. Now, Mount Mercy does have some restrictions as far as entry into their bachelor's accelerated program.
Do you know what some of those might be?
Their focus is students who are 23 or older and have had a few years work experience. The idea is that their mindset is more mature, and so they understand exactly what they're taking on, and they'll have a higher level of success is what the idea is.
Okay. And that answered one of my other questions was going to be if concurrent enrollment students would be able to tap into the program, but they're looking more for people who are at least 23 and older for it, right?
And of course, there's always a gray area where there's some exceptions to the rule. It may require a sit-down with the program head at Hawkeye. That would be myself. And I can make a determination if a student is mentally ready to take on the program under the age of 23 23, but that primarily 23 years of age with some work experience under their belt.
Okay. I'm glad you bring that up too, because we've seen with the concurrent enrollment programming, we get students from time to time that are very mature and aggressive in pursuing education. And I think one of the neat stories that was shared with us from Dr. Moon was that there was a student who utilized concurrent enrollment, excelled through high school very rapidly and college, and was just starting med school at the age of 18. But I mean, now that's aggressive. And hopefully, I'm hoping my kids do the same thing so that they can make the doctor's type money and let dad and mom retire. So. With this program, what has the experiences been like thus far? Have you heard any feedback from some of the students who have actually started it and how they feel about it?
I think from our core group of students who have started, I've had feedback from a number of them. Some struggle initially because they've been out of school for a while and find it difficult to make the transition back. Others, once they made the transition, seem to do fairly well. We have probably between 20 and 25 students who are currently considered part of this accelerated program major. And I would say of those, there are probably 20 that have hung in through. There's a few now that Shatish and I are working on to get them to come in and look at their spring schedules. But the individual meetings are very important for these students, just to keep them on track, make sure they're not experiencing any difficulties. Also follow up with faculty to make sure students are doing okay with their classes. It's important, because our goal is to have a successful student.
Yes.
We do not want to see people struggle. But as a working adult, somebody who's been out of school for a while, sometimes that transition can be difficult.
Yes, definitely. And so I take it that when you sit down with students that are looking at getting into the program, you look at several factors, including, what the family life is currently like and all those things to kind of help them make a determination. What are some of the things you like to make students aware of? Say, for instance, a young couple with, newborn children or whatever. How would you go about advising them on what to expect or how to actually navigate that program?
A lot of students look at the 5 weeks and they get excited about getting done quickly.
Yes.
And sometimes I feel they're not mindful of there's still going to be an immense amount of quality time required of them in order to be successful in the course. I would want students to be mindful that although it's a 5-week course, there will still be a lot required of you, and then there will be quality required of you. So sometimes it's good to halt the student when registering, because they see the 5 weeks and they want to knock it out and move on to the next course. And just want students to be mindful that it still is the same amount of work as a 16-week traditional course.
Yes.
You will still be required to put in that time and dedication. So I think that's something really important to me. What excites me about the program is a lot of students that decide to come back to school, I think you'll agree with me, Dave Wesley, they have gotten a tech degree because they wanted to get a degree and get out into the work field. And then some time goes by and they reevaluate the importance of education and then getting a bachelor's degree. And the opportunity is being more presented now than ever before, but with a tech degree, it's kind of hard to go on and only have two and a half more years left to get a bachelor's. And now that's something that is being offered through this program. Mount Mercy is looking at tech degrees and accepting a bulk number of credits. You can even bring in 75. So that's about 10 more credits outside of the associate degree. So that's pretty exciting. Students are deciding to come back beyond their AA Tech degree and want to get a bachelor's, and Mount Mercy is offering this opportunity and leaving them only two and a half years to finish the bachelor's degree, and usually without a liberal arts AA transfer degree. That's difficult to do, although I do believe Upper Iowa offers that opportunity as well, not to leave them out. So yeah, that's pretty exciting. But students do need to be mindful that just because it's 5 weeks, there's a lot required of you, and you need to be ready to buckle down and get it done.
think that was the main point, is the amount of work that students have to do week to week, that they have to understand up front. There's gonna have to be this time set aside. If they have family or young children, they're gonna have to set the time aside to do the work, or else they will not be successful. So they have to be mindful of, can you dedicate 10, 15, 20 hours a week from week to week to get the classwork done? Then you can get done in 5 weeks, be successful, move on to the next class. And students can complete usually 3 classes per term. And there's 2 classes in the summer term. There are 9 blocks altogether, 9 accelerated blocks. There are a few classes that are offered in double blocks just because of the amount of work that's involved in those. One of them is an accounting class, 2 accounting classes, and 2 composition classes, even though they're only 3 credits, the amount of writing involved. The faculty and deans felt it important to give them more time to do those classes. But most of the classes are 3 credits done in 5-week blocks.
That is great. And you know, I'm glad you both talked about sitting down with students and explaining to them how it works and what's expected, because I think oftentimes, you know, students may sometimes get into a program without knowing really what to expect and everything. And once they get into the shock of it all hits them, and then ultimately, you know, they end up drowning. And so I think by having, you know, staff that actually takes the time to sit down and tell them, you know, this is what's expected, it makes them make a better informed decision, even if it means, okay, I may have to put this off till, you know, next year because I have a couple other things I need to get in line for. So I think that's a great thing, a great service you both do for the college and for the community and students as well. So I applaud you on that. With this program, is there also a kind of preset mapping of the classes that the students will take, you know, where it's formulated as in, you know, you're gonna take this, this, and this term, you know, and this class, a certain order? Is it set up that way?
Well, I've been here just short of a month here. Dave Leslie has done an amazing job of transitioning me into this position, but what I most appreciate is he tries to make a point to individually meet with every student and sit down and create a map, so that and they do it together, so that the student can visually see what lies ahead and when things to come. And also, one thing that he has told me that we're going to make a point to always do that he already does is students, when he sees a student has registered for the program that has not taken an accelerated class yet, he wants to sit down with that student and explain to them what they've signed up for and what they can expect from an accelerated class.
That is fantastic. And you said an important thing when you said allow the student to be able to see that, you know, format, because I think a lot of times too, when you can show a person, you know, the path that they're going to be on and show them that finish line, that's an extra motivator, because they can actually see that, you know, light at the end of the tunnel.
That's a big piece. And one of the things that's been very helpful is the deans of the liberal arts areas have developed a sequence of courses that will be offered every year by block. And Brian Renfro, the dean of the business department, has developed a sequence of courses that will be offered each year. So you can figure from year to year, the same set of courses will be offered during the same blocks. So when we sit down with a student, do you want to start with the liberal arts classes? Do you want to start with the business classes? You need to make sure some prerequisites are met. But then you can map out by semester a sequence of study from start to end. And as you said, Warren, they'll be able to see here, I'm just going to start here, I should be able to finish here.
Yeah.
If there's something that interrupts in the middle, then we just come back and look at that sequence again and redo the sequence and try to figure out how to reinsert and restart again. So it's been very helpful for the deans to get together and at least have a map for us to work with as we work with the students and keep that consistent from year to year.
Definitely. And one of the things, you know, with Dean Renfro that I like, he's very progressive and he brings a lot of great ideas to the institution, you know, that have actually helped to create some new initiatives that I think are emerging and, you know, that are going to be the future of education. really, like that he looks ahead, looks at the present, but he also looks at, what's ahead and what's gonna be coming down, so, fantastic. And he also, has great people, working for him that, just do an excellent job, and the both of you, again, do a great service for our
Thank you so
students
much.
in the college. How is this program advertised?
Well, I think Mary Pat's probably our advertiser. I've seen a number of commercials on TV talking, I don't know if you've seen the opportunities, which is, I think, the theme of the show, but there's a number of spots that I've seen on TV where they talk about opportunities, evening opportunities for liberal arts education, for teacher education, as well as a business administration program. So that's one way. There are a number of flyers that we have. I think radio spots as well, depending upon, I think they start gearing the radio spots up just before or about this time of year. But I've seen a number of the opportunity spots on TV continually, usually evenings. I've seen those advertised. Word of mouth is another one. When people come to these programs that are working and find success, they can go back to their place of business and talk to their coworkers about the program. So word of mouth is one of the, I think, the big ways we can advertise the program as well. One of the other initiatives that Shatisha will be having is to go out and talk to businesses and do some marketing and recruiting of potential students that way.
And that's what I was wondering, if it involved a component of you being able to go out and
Absolutely.
recruit.
There will be lots of outreach with community agencies and businesses and programs throughout the Cedar Valley. Jason Street also in Hawkeye Admissions Office hosts a number of workshops throughout the year, and those flyers are advertised throughout the community so that you can get dates and times on when to attend those. And one of the components of that workshop is to present the accelerated programs to those who are interested.
Great. And then do you have any special activities coming up that'll promote the program, or are you involved with any of the other activities on campus to kind of help push it?
We just had a workshop just a week ago.
Oh, okay.
So,
Jason's been doing pretty much monthly workshops, doing the opportunities, talking about the different options for people. The last one was on campus, correct?
the Cedar Falls campus,
Yeah.
the Hawkeye Cedar Falls campus, yes.
So he's moved from some of our, from our main campus site to some of the outer sites as well to advertise the programming. Not just our program, but just different opportunities that Hawkeye has. And so I think that's gonna be an ongoing effort, that at least monthly, there'll be a meeting in the evening for folks to learn about the different opportunities at Hawkeye in the evening.
Great. And then also, with it being an accelerated program, there was another component or program that we offer at the Martin Luther King Center. It's called the Hawkeye Community College Campus Preparatory Academic Lab. And what it's for is for people who are looking at taking the campus test. If they want to brush up on some skills prior to taking it, they can work with our tutors for free and with the software-based program to actually brush up in the areas of reading, writing, and math. If someone has already taken the campus test and they want to improve their scores, again, they can utilize this free service. And I bring that up because oftentimes we get students who have taken the campus test, they've been out of school for a long time, and their scores really rate them where they would need a lot of developmental courses before getting into an actual program of study. And they utilize the program and experience drastic changes in their campus testing scores. To such an extent, I always tell the story, there was one gentleman that after utilizing the tutoring, he came and utilized it on site with the live tutors for, I believe it was 2 or 3 days. He received his own personal username and password for the software, and whenever he would be home, he'd get off work, he'd work from home on those modules with the software. And he came in and took the campus test again, and his score was so different, he kept asking us, "Are you sure this is my test?" And so he had to change his schedule and drop all the developmental courses he was looking at taking and get right into his program.
That's awesome.
And we've seen a lot of students that, after that experience, once they're in their program, they still come and work with tutors, which is totally fine. And they found that it's helped them move along in their classes even faster, because some of them would find out what's coming up next in the next chapter, and then they would start working on those things in advance. And so I think for your program being an accelerated program, if there is a student that gets into it and they need a little bit of extra help, I want them to know that they can come to the MLK Center or main campus, or I believe it's now offered at all of the off-campus sites, and utilize those tutors and that software-based program to either, stay up and keep up with your class, or to actually get ahead and be prepared for the upcoming components of each of those classes. So I want you both to make sure that you let your students know, utilize the services. They're free.
Yes.
And they're, free and very, very good services.
Excellent.
Well, we're coming up on the last few minutes of the show, so I want to give you each an opportunity to let our listeners know how they would access the program, who they would need to talk to, and your contact information. So we can start with you, Shatisha.
Well, I would like to encourage students to explore the opportunity to become a part of the accelerated program. And if you would like to reach me, we can sit down and visit about the program and find out if it's something that could work for you. You can reach me at 319-296-4222. That's 319-296-4222. Or you can email me at shatisha.bruce@hawkeyecollege.edu. It's not the easiest name to spell, so I'll spell it for you. It's SHATEISHA.BRUCE@hawkeyecollege.edu. I'm really excited about the program. I think it will be a great fit for many individuals in our community, and I'm excited about educating those who it may work for and exploiting the program. So thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming on. And Dave?
Basically, admissions is a fairly simple process. It can be done online. I think initially for people that are interested in the program, it would be very helpful to meet with Shatisha, go through the program, get an understanding for it, then go through the admissions process. There is a special major that we have for the students that are taking the accelerated business program in the evening, so we want to make sure that they get into that specific major to help us as we're working with them as well. And basically, I'm going to be here to back up Shatisha. I'll be working part-time for the dean, as I said, doing some special projects, so I'll be available to assist her, but she's taken over. She's going to be the main